Yo, 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 what's the deal? It's your girl, Queen Supreme, and we are on Blog Talk Radio, Supreme Podcast Hits. What's up, my listeners? And today is a rainy day across the A-State nation. If you're in the A-State, you better make sure you stay dry. You heard me? And we're going to go ahead and jump into it, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. But we talk about the weekly drama with the podcast. So let's start off with Time Out. So on Time Out, we are making awareness for kidnapping and exploited children. And Kate's story is similar. She was abducted from her home in 6 months. She's been missing. So we down to the last two episodes. They got her in the trunk. And the crazy part about it is now she can hear them. Why she didn't scream? I don't have a clear understanding on that. You supposed to scream to say something. If you hear the police outside talking to some damn body, I just don't get it. Say help, help, help. I mean, if you can hear them and you in the trunk, I don't get it. Her and a dead body in the trunk. She just found out that her grandmother is the one that had her kidnapped because she always envied her and she always was seeking attention from her own daughter, which is Kate's mom. She's been wanting to try to get back with back on Kate for getting the inheritance money. So basically it all came down to money. The whole time, these are not her brothers. These are some men that her grandmother had hired. So when they robbed the bank, they really was robbing the safe deposit box. And that's some crazy shit. How you not gonna know your safe deposit box got robbed? I mean, the story is just got twists and turns and, so I can't think of a thing to say. When it comes to Time Out, Kate, right now they're getting ready to kill her. So, because the grandmother just got done talking to the police. They was talking shit, man. But the grandma, she kind of slick now. Because I'm tell you what she did. She had them fake driver licenses, and then it came back registered that was her damn. That was her cabin. So, you never know. You got to be careful about people. People will be plotting and planning on you, and you won't even know it. I can't think of anything to say. Kate is going to, they claim they're going to burn her alive. And she hear all this shit and what's going through her mind. She's scared. She finally figuring out the whole plot and plan and everything. And so, her grandmother has always hated her. Ever since she was a little kid, she's been jealous and envy because she's always wanted approval from her daughter. So, when her daughter died, they put Kate, in foster care. The grandma didn't even want to keep her. So she's been plotting this. What is? What is they gonna do? I mean, at this point in time, the police let them go. You didn't got past the police. So it's crazy. You can't fight 3 grown men and an old lady out for you. They got you tied up. It just, I just feel sorry for Kate. I feel like that she is going to probably get killed. Because she's tried to escape, and now that she knows who got her, and her last chance was the police officer when he took their IDs and he checked the car and smelled blood and everything. Didn't even check the damn trunk. I just can't. I don't understand that. I just think that. But he wasn't. He wasn't checking for no missing person. He was just trying to make sure that the cabin was not stolen, and. He thought that they were suspicious of stealing it, but they proved somehow that they were the owners of the cabin. And I wonder, how did they do that? So we'll have to see, tomorrow what's going to happen. You are on Blog Talk Radio. This is Supreme Podcast Hits, and we'll be right back after this.
LR on the beat.
We are back on Supreme Podcast Hits, and I'm your host, Queen Supreme. And we were talking about Time Out. Time Out airs tomorrow at 7 p.m. Find out what happens with Kate. Find out if she will get killed. If anything could happen. At this point, I don't know. Hit me up at superrealsavage@gmail.com or The Real Super Savage on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Let me know what you think is going to happen to Kate. I'm just saying, anything is possible. But it seems like she's doomed. I don't know. Let's go ahead and go with Discover You. Discover You. Discover yourself. Discover yourself. Hey, on Discover You, we were talking about different things as far as makeovers and becoming a better you as far as when you're getting divorced or leaving a bad relationship, how to overcome that, and how to get back in the dating scene. So let's talk more about that. I don't know how many people date now. I'm an old school kind of, person. I like to, go on out there in the field and date. But a lot of people like to online date and find strangers and risk their lives. I just don't understand it, but, it is what it is, But you got to understand, if you're going to do that, it's got to be some safety precautions. You need to make sure that you don't give nobody your address. I guess they got to have your phone number, but, just be careful, because people can type anything. You don't really know people like that. But many times in these modern days, people hook up from Messenger and Instagram, and they want to know your IG, and people are hooking up. So if that's the way you want to date, you want to have your confidence level up. I don't know what to be honest about. I'm really not in tune with the online dating thing. Like I said, I'm old school, but I have more of, that when I decide to research it. I don't really like, talking about stuff I'm not interested in, and I'm not interested in meeting strangers. That's too much like kidnapping to me. Highway robbery. You meet somebody, you be like, the picture don't look shit like these folks is this in. They didn't catfish your ass. So you got to be careful. But we also spoke about getting over a divorce and tips on becoming more open with communication as far as getting a support team. Like maybe the person that does your hair at the salon, that's the best person to tell your business to. The person hey, my hairdresser, shoot. Now, if you're wearing wigs all the time, hey, you might got to talk to yourself. Just saying, you need the support. Always talk to a counselor, a psychiatrist when you're going through a divorce, because a divorce can be pretty ugly. Try to close that chapter before you just jump up and just decide to go out and date, because you're going to be looking for your ex-mate. And, that's not the person for you because y'all are divorced. So with that being said, take your time and make sure that you go through all the process of recovering from that divorce. You don't want to be having that open and then trying to date again. And makeup tips. Well, makeover tips for basic home makeovers. You can arch your eyebrows or put some contacts in your eyes or try a new lipstick. Don't pile your face up with a whole bunch of makeup. We're not trying to make you look like somebody else. We just want you to bring out what you got. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it out. I always want to be able to try a new color as far as like a beige or a blue or something that you've never really been into. If you wear a lot of black or you work a lot, you might want to, just change up, your swag a little bit so you can feel confident enough to start dating. Because, everybody's not supposed to be married. Some people are supposed to be single, whatever floats your boat. But you don't want to be old alone with cats and shit, by yourself. Just because it didn't work out with nobody. I say give yourself about, it depends on how long you've been married. If you've been married and 20 some years and you get a divorce, you're probably most likely, not to really try to get remarried. You probably just want to date and have a friend. But if you only been married 2 or 3 years, you probably got a couple of more weddings under your belt. You know what I'm saying? You might want to go ahead and get that popping. So with that being said, make sure that you are confident in yourself. If you got to do positive attributes in the mirror, or if you want to keep a journal, or treat yourself, go out for your favorite dessert, or watch your favorite movie, or just go hang out with some friends, but never be alone, and never, because depression is not part of the process. So that is what happens when we close ourselves off to reality and things of that nature. So you want to always be sure that you're on top of your game. The next podcast we're going to be talking about is the Projects Podcast. And the episode we're only on episode 2. What's going on in the podcast, the projects, that the guys are getting ready to prepare to save up their little money for their little senior trip. But the area they live in, they're always getting approached by different members of different kind of gangs wanting them to join. Well, when one of them didn't join, they got shot. They didn't know they got shot till they got home, and the grandmother seen it. So, the next episode, it will be, they have a choice whether to retaliate or whether to just leave it alone, or, after being shot in your own neighborhood, how would you react? So it's a lot of questions that's going to be discussed and needs to be addressed. What are they going to do? Because they're good kids, and, sometimes you want revenge. Sometimes you want to get even. And sometimes, you just let it alone. Will they come at him again? Because they, they're not going to just stop one day trying to recruit you to be in the gang. They're going to always just keep coming at you until you finally say yes. So that's very important to look at too. Let me know what you want me to know now. Come on now. Super Supreme. You got to do it. Queen Supreme Music and Podcast.com. It's in the news, man. What they going to do? I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to say, forget that. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it, because they're not bad kids, and they have futures, and, they're going to college and stuff, and ROTC, and they have a lot going on for themselves. So I'm sure they won't make the wrong decision. Now, all next week we will be getting to the end of Timeout and the beginning of the Project Podcast. And so we're going to bring in season 2, The Power, which is an entrepreneur podcast for entrepreneurs, people that have their own businesses or want to start their own business and have any questions or concerns. So look forward to that next week. As far as we're also having a drone drawing for a drone giveaway. I don't know why I was going to say getaway. He ain't going nowhere. But yeah, so all that and more next week. Make sure that you also tune in to your girl Queen Supreme blog and keep up with what's going on, because all week long this is what we're doing. I'm your host, Queen Supreme, and this is the Blog Talk Radio. And until next week, keep all your ears on me. I'm telling you, because it's gonna go down. You're gonna miss your drone drawing, and you don't want to miss it. Stay safe, cool as a cucumber, and respect yourselves. Thank you.